Hello everybody, part 2 of my Thursday Throwdown Truth Bomb Real and Raw talk about multiple personality and dissociative identity disorder. And when we're sharing our truths out here, trying to demystify and destigmatize and bring our experiences, as unique and diverse as they all are, food will be had. Okay, so I shared my recipe, and this is how it turned out. And again, I used regular Hillshire packaged ultra thin roast beef because I had a package I didn't want. I meant to get ham. I got roast beef instead. So I put potatoes, carrots, celery, onion. I made my own jus sauce with some Urbex no sodium beef. I threw some tomatoes in there for depth, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, rosemary, thyme, oregano, parsley fresh, and a little crushed hot pepper. And it really did come out just like a beef stew. I've got a little multi-grain bread here, pocket bread, and I just piled it into there with a little slice of extra thin Swiss cheese. Did I put a bay leaf in here? No, I didn't. That was my recipe. I started with maybe I'm going to do French dip sandwiches. I didn't have the right kind of bread for it. And I just kept thinking of my dad's Italian beef from his restaurant, which was so good. So I'm just going to call this my Italian beef stew. All right. So I hope I still have some friends out there in DID community, multiple community, plurality community, whatever you're calling yourself these days. And really, I just had to speak my piece. The entire landscape of YouTube community changed when Multiplicity Me came out from the UK, and then DisscoiaDID. And not for the bad, just really different. And with a lot of then TiK Tok, college and teen and tween age people. And so all I'm saying is that everything that they are covering, everything that Multiplicity Me and everything that DisscoiaDID has covered over the last few years, several, is worthy. It needs to be out there. It's also been covered by several of us that have been out there for years, and we were just kind of like shoved aside because guess what? Integration does not come conveniently when you get pregnant and married. Integration does not come conveniently when all of a sudden you're facing a lawsuit. That's just not how it happens. That's in the movies. So, and when it does come, it's raw, it's real, it's filled with emotion, it's shaky, it's tender, and you want to protect it because now you're finally you. With all of you, and all of your feelings, and all of your memories, and all of your truths. And all of those truths matter. And you have to take your own self to the shed over and over again and say, what the heck was I thinking? Why did I give over my power to others? Why didn't I speak up for myself? What happened to that empowered person that knew better? What happened? And whether it's trauma from the past, which there is, but what allowed it to become chronically ill, gonna get worse before it gets better. This could be forever. And it pains me to see so many young people on TikTok playing with fanfic, fictives, Comic-Con. Trying to figure out their sexual identities and trying on DID MPD. It pains me because that is not demystified, destigmatizing. As I said in my video yesterday, reviewing the book, trigger warning, The Rape of Eve. the true story behind Chris Costner's Sizemore, Three Faces of Eve. Dr. Colin Ross does a fabulous job of breaking down exactly what happened to Chris. And it's horrifying. And I can relate to so much of it. And it's just really sucker punching me. I've felt like a volcano lately that is so close to bubbling over. I started to feel really, really sad when Anne Hayes died. She's one of those women that just, she never had to have a diagnosis of DID or MPD. She never had to have a label and say she was bisexual or lesbian or gender fluid or non-binary or any of this Ezra Miller craziness or whatever. She never had to have a label. She just was raw and true. And yet she was suffering with dissociative identity disorder from a young girl. And she explained it so well in the book Call Me Crazy. And I don't think people were listening. And right before she died, she started talking about it again. There's a lot of debunking we still have to do. And as long as we're playing show and tell with the alters, as long as we're trying to please an audience, to be content creators and keep our brand good, you have to know what your market wants, blah, blah, blah. But then you have to stop and say, wait a minute, how far have I gone from what's real? Because that is exactly what Dr. Thigpen and Dr. Klecki and Dr. Cornelia Wilbur with Shirley Ardell Mason, a.k.a. Sybil, did. They knew what was wanted. That is exactly what happened to Trudy Chase when she went on the Oprah show. That is exactly what happened to so many people and Jess, you know this from Multiplicity Me, when you went on Today, Tomorrow, and the BBC and all these different shows, many times they looked for the salacious. They tried to figure out, even when Gaz was with you, they tried to figure out, well, okay, let's see you switch. Okay, I went through that with healthyplace.com. It was one of the first interviews they had done after United States of Terror. The TV show brought it back into awareness, and I had been vlogging week by week, episode by episode, every show, and pointing out, no. And yes, that's kind of like that, but no. And then we would have discussions in our community out at YouTube. So that's why I make mention of Multiplicity and Me. Is Jess, I was there. We did talk to each other. And your last video just blew me away. It's content that's so needed. But when you said there was nobody out there and that's why you started your channel and got the ball rolling, I was like mortified. There is a little green monster in me. I was mortified. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. And what have you lost? Nothing. You've gained from this. You've gained. And so that's real, that's raw, that's true. And if it sounds ugly, that's what it is. I'm not, I'm not going to be a liar about it. I really got ran over and shoved aside because the kids all came for the show. They wanted to see the ghost girl at DID. They wanted to see Eddie and Oliver and the Littles at Multiplicity and Me. They wanted to see all that. I had too much more to lose to allow that to be the content I bring. So I did my work alone and continued in subtle ways to come out and talk with many with me. A large group. Large. Hundreds. Over 30 years of therapy, over hundreds were created. So, now you know. I'm glad to see some people that we're all getting back in touch with each other. It feels good to build community again. I try to support everyone I can. I try to watch as many videos as I can. I did support you, Kaya, with your court case. I don't know what I can do, but further keep sharing your videos. Thank you so much for, again, clarifying that you didn't endorse conservatorships and blah, blah, blah. We are a vulnerable community out here, and there are people that are looking to have test cases in all kinds of communities. So just, I guess, just would want everyone to be aware of that, is my thought. And we've come so far to go backwards. And I think that Multiplicity Me and Entropy System and so many brought the DID community so far. Sid, I will always be grateful to Tommy Jamison and to Michaela and to Amy and to Devin and to so many people out there, Lori, and if I started naming names, you know, I'd be here forever. You've all helped me to look at Australia. Oh my God, Australia. Kaylee, Amara, so many. I would be really remiss to not take everything that I have seen happen in your life into account while I sit and think about content and rethink the diagnosis of DID MPD and what it all means, and breaking it down and continuing to learn. I would be really remiss if I didn't look at your system groups and say, wow, I wonder why that's happening now. And I wonder why this. And that's just in me, to be analytical and to learn from y'all, but not adjust my own presentation. But I think there are people out there in the community that need to fit and want to fit and would follow along certain system groups and have on TiK Tok. And so I just wanted to mention that. That was just, I was finding it very frustrating. I'm just having a sad day. So, all better now. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. Thanks for listening. I hope you'll try this recipe. It's really simple. It's not too expensive either. Okay. Bye. Peace.